What's up, YouTubers? Today we're going to talk about the Axial Gear Enzi. This is a titanium frame lock. It is made by a company, Axial Gear, which is out of Springfield, Utah. They do produce some knives in the USA. This particular one was not. They did not have the manufacturing facilities to make this one yet. They were busy making the Axial Shift, this great OTF knife that I'll be having an upcoming review on. So this one is in fact OEM'd out of China. However, I did talk to them, and their intent is in the future, hopefully with Model 2 and later, to be able to manufacture this 100% in the USA. So, you know, if you're allergic to knives made in China, Erica, not your average EDC, you may have to wait for a future build, which could come from the Springfield, Utah facility. So just wanted to get that out of the way up front. This particular knife sports a 2.8-inch blade of 20 CV super steel. It weighs 2.8 ounces, and price is at $190. So very fair price for what you're getting on this one. And we're going to talk about some of those finer accoutrements. In terms of some comparison knives or alternatives out there, I think on the very low budget end, you could be talking about the full titanium Penguin QSP. That is definitely an alternative here. Gives you that full titanium hand. It's not milled out. It's not lighter. It goes for about $100, I want to say. But it is an alternative to that. In terms of that blade shape in there, the Benchmade Mini Osborne, definitely that blade shape with the reverse Tonto cut like that. It behaved and performed very similarly in terms of kind of the use cases for cutting I found on this particular knife. And the Mini Osborne goes for like $190. And you can dress this one up with titanium and stuff from Flightanium if you want to make it, you know, kind of in that, if you like the full titanium sort of thing. And then the last one, which really kind of caught my eye, and I just felt like it, especially in the carry, is the tactile knife Rockwall. So this one is this is the version 1 that had the CTS XHP, the, you know, comparable steels. But yeah, this one's just a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner blade stock, but they do carry very similarly, and I just kind of in hand, that's what I was really feeling is a lot of that kind of felt like that. Again, just the slightest bit thinner. We'll go ahead and hold those up. But yeah, that's kind of the one that you might be talking about. That's $300. Keeping in mind that this one at $190 is for the Chinese made one. I do imagine when they ramp up production in the USA, the prices might go up, possibly accordingly. Not sure, but keep an eye out for that. I think those are some good alternatives or comparisons out there. In terms of the pros of this knife, the action and the detent are absolutely beautiful. You can push button this one without fail, and you can light switch this one. Yeah, this is very, very good. It is a very small and light blade, so it's not exactly going to, you know, guillotine or drop shut. I don't mind that. You just takes a little flick, gets sucked right back in nicely. Very, very good on that. Very much appreciate that. In terms of the clips, it does come with a right side tip up, but then it also does have this left side tip up carry. It is not recessed. You'll notice this for the left hand side, like the way it is on the right hand side. We'll kind of show that there. So it's actually recessed in, a further great thing. But I do love the fact that they give you that option. Does it mar the appearance of it? I don't think so. Could it look the slightest bit better? Possibly, you know. But for the most part, I think I really appreciate that they do that for the lefties in there. The weight is so light and deft with tons of internal milling. Hopefully it shows up in there. Yeah, you can see some of it. And they even did a little bit on the lock side. So that's kind of a great thing. And that's how they got to the 2.8 ounces for a 2.8-inch blade. Really appreciate that. This blasted texture is marvelous. For me, I absolutely love this. It's not the kind of knife that's going to slip out of your hands, you know, like these just straight stonewashed titanium will, where it's really slick. I really appreciate this. It just got just the slightest bit of chalky texture. If I had to compare it to the knife that's probably the closest to it in my collection is the McNeese Performance Machine Mac 2, where it has, again, that nice little blasting, and maybe it's a coated with a blasting. It's not quite as aggressive as the Chris Reeves knives, but like I said, even when wet, it goes ahead and gives you that little bit of friction. So really appreciate that. That's definitely on the strong side on this one. And then the branding is kind of one of the last super strengths of this, I think. You can kind of see the Axial 3 lines. I don't know what to call those and what they mean necessarily, but you do have that branding, and it kind of functions as some jimping, kind of functional. But in the closed position, you can also see that it pairs up nicely with the lock bar cutout here, where you have those 3 lines as well. So that's really positive. You see that as well. I'm just going to bring that in again on the OTF shift. So yeah, that one is that's kind of a positive thing. Without having to be annoying, you just start to build some brand recognition there with that, and I really do kind of appreciate that. Adds some artistic flair to it without being overly noisy. So yeah, very much on the strong side. On the cons, this is a shorter knife. I have medium-large hands, and my pinky finger trails off a little bit there. I would, for me, for these shorter blades or shorter handles, I'd like to have a pin there or a hole, Obviously, maybe not just a big old hole bore through it, but maybe a nice little pin worked around that backspacer to put in a lanyard. Just for me, because I do prefer, this is a pretty robust little blade here. And I'd like to be able to really have all 4 of my fingers on there, and the pinky kind of trails off. So, work a lanyard pin in that back there. I think you can do it. Maybe it adds a little more price. I think for me and the other lanyard folks, it would be kind of a nice thing, I think. The 3 cutouts on the lock bar, though they're beautiful, they weren't knocked down at all. So these guys definitely get tripped up on your pants. They're very sharp. The edges on that one are very sharp, and so they do get caught on pants when they're going in. And even just hit against your hand, it's just not so good. I could try to, you can see I can scrape off some of my fingernail there. So I think if those just get knocked down just the slightest bit, that'll actually go together with the beauty of that thing to make it a nice thing. And then the last thing, and I did speak with him about this because this needs to be fixed before the next model of this one comes out. The ramp on this clip is not only an ergonomic nightmare, it goes straight up, and kind of the picture that I sent them, if you just draw a straight line across there, you can see where that one needs to bend. It just needs to be bent right there, and I'm going to actually bend it on my own, but I didn't want to do it before the review of this. Maybe I'll go ahead and drop up on Instagram when I do bend that. That just needs to be flattened out for a couple of reasons. One is not only for the nightmarish ergos that basically digs right into your finger there or into your hand, but also when it's in your pocket, that thing's sticking out there, that just catches on door jams and around walls as you walk around them. It's just sticking out too far. They definitely could have bent some down, had plenty of clearance to even cover in large pants. So yeah, that's kind of the biggest con of the whole knife, that particular one. For me, overall, I think this is a great small carry titanium frame lock, thoughtfully designed and branded. Version 1.0, I definitely see that small little clip fix that needs to happen. And I really look forward to this one hopefully being made in the USA. Again, they don't try to hide the fact that it's made in China, but I still think it's a good value for your money. And if you're looking for kind of a small, classy knife, this one definitely fits the bill. So hope you did enjoy this. Oh, and I guess one last side effect of that clip, having that stick up there, is it doesn't sit up really well for video shots and Instagram shots. Not that that makes a difference, but most other knives do kind of sit up a little bit nicer like that. This one rolls over. So hope you did enjoy this. If you did, like and subscribe, and have a great day. Take care now.